Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Modern Monarchy. Today, it should be a short one, I'm hoping, because we're just going to wrap up this little Sussex chaos bubble. I don't want to talk about it again in 2 weeks, but a lot of stuff has happened since the last time we talked. Like, pretty much right after we stopped recording,
Everything
is
happened.
everything went wrong for him.
Well, did he do it to himself? Spoiler alert, yes.
100,000%. So obviously, we're going to start with Harry losing his court case against the Associated Newspapers, which wasn't just him. It was him and like 5 other people, including Elton John and his husband and like Elizabeth Hurley. They were all saying that there's no way that the press could have gotten information without hacking our phones because all of my friends are leak proof. But they didn't have any evidence for any of them. So, despite the fact that there were 97 allegations between the 6 of them, the judge said no to all of them.
Oopsies.
And everybody was thinking that they might get like 1 or 2 or something, and that Harry was gonna like run with that and be like, haha, I slayed the dragon, which is something he's actually said about the press. He's slaying the dragon. He's a prince. It's so stupid.
It makes him
Although
feel good.
it's been kind of nice to see everybody go, the dragon wins! This is House of the Dragon.
Spoiler alert, it's a crossover episode.
I'm going to have you read part of what the judge said, but the judge's judgment was written out on 400 pages. So I'm not going to have you read 400 pages. I'm just going to have you read this little blurb.
Appreciate that. Mr. Justice Nicklin said, I accept that he found the article intrusive and was genuinely concerned by how journalists appeared to know private information concerning his relationships. But suspicion, even understandable suspicion, is not proof.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's a true statement.
It is a true statement. I guess when he was testifying, he was giving the judge attitude the whole time.
Shocker.
Which is stupid. And we're about to get into how he's even more stupid now that he's lost the case. So, after the judge dismissed all 97 allegations, of course, Harry had to say something.
Well, of course. Harry said the court had denied him the justice and accountability he sought. It is a complete and obvious whitewash. But sadly, not altogether unexpected, Harry said in a joint statement with another claimant, anti-racism activist Doreen Lawrence. However, the lengths to which the court have gone to exonerate the male is as shocking as it is totally unwarranted.
So, we're going to call the court corrupt. Fantastic. Because the judge hasn't decided on the legal costs for this thing yet. And Harry, like the 6 of them have to share the legal costs, but they kind of like made an arrangement that because Elton John and like Prince Harry have a lot more money than the other 3, that they would take on most of that burden. So we still don't know how much it's going to cost them, but since you insulted the judge, it could cost a little bit more. Currently, it's estimated to be about 50 million pounds. So, good luck finding that. Also, I would imagine...
As ever, it's going to have to churn out a lot more jams.
We're going to need some other varieties, some other flavors. But, like, if I was Elton John right now, I'd be fucking pissed. Like...
Probably. I want to say I saw something that he was.
Like, you're going to cost me even more money.
Because you won't shut the fuck up.
Oh, man. Okay, so also the editor-in-chief, Paul Dacre from the Associated Newspapers, put out that, like, I think it was like a 3-minute video. Um, I sent it to you, Cassie, and it was pretty damning. But I thought we would just read a little bit of what he had to say.
Newspaper editor says Harry is a hypocrite. Associated Newspapers editor-in-chief how'd you say it?
Paul Dacre.
Paul Dacre called Harry a confused and angry young man and said he felt sorry that he had been drawn into the case. He mocked Harry's tell-all memoir, Spare. I mean, it's not that hard to mock, which included details of drug use, losing his virginity, and dishing dirt on his kin. There isn't a laundry in the cosmos big enough to wash all the dirty linen he has aired about his own family, Dacre said. For him to complain about his privacy being invaded takes not just the biscuit, but the whole tin. Poor Harry. I'm sorry that I didn't read that as for him to complain about his privacy.
Sorry, privacy. Yes, that was much better. Thank you. I really liked that laundry thing. There isn't a laundry in the cosmos big enough to wash all the dirty linen he has aired about his own family.
It's phenomenal. That's some good wordplay.
This is why he works in written media.
I was gonna say, I'm like that is an editor-in-chief who earned it.
Yeah, so on top of that, now that the case is over, people who were chosen to be witnesses or whatnot, they can now speak, including our friend Charlotte Griffiths, or
CG String,
who we lovingly know as CG String. She wrote a long article about like her relationship with Harry, and she like chronicles some of the weird dumb things he would do because he was the
weird and dumb
lad who could ever lad. He was the guys in college I did not hang out with.
For good reason.
I thought that we could read a little bit from her article. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Okay.
According to the table plan, the prince and I were to sit next to each other at dinner, and because Harry was doubtless wary about being introduced to an H&M-clad stranger, he decided to kickstart our relationship by subjecting me to a little test. From his pocket, he removed a small white pill. Then he held it up to my face, popped it onto my tongue, and said with a smile, "Now I know I can trust you." Ew.
That's gross.
That's icky.
What did you say, Cassie? It sounds like something his uncle Andy might do.
Yeah, I did say that, didn't I?
Yeah. You don't want to have more comparisons to your uncle.
No.
It's just funny because he like tries to present himself as this really serious, caring, philanthropical person. And yeah, no, this is who you used to be. I don't know if you're still like that. I'm gonna guess there's a little touch of it still.
But we can't just keep sweeping this shit under the rug.
Yeah, you need to stop pretending that you weren't like this most of your life. And also, I just find it interesting because I think this person is someone Megan would not have liked.
Shocker.
Yeah, we're ready for the next one.
Oh no. The grand dining room contained a vast collection of solid silver elephants, hippopotamuses, giraffes, and other African game, made by the society jeweler Patrick Mavros, who had a shop on the Fulham Road. Normally, the animals were laid out in a sort of tableau along the long antique table, but Harry decided to place them in pairs, with one directly on top of another. A variety of sexual positions were adopted. Some were humping members of a different species altogether.
Wow. What a fantastic guy. Love it. Next.
Next. This must have been them in court, too. Okay.
Yeah.
Harry, who chronicled his youthful enthusiasm for recreational drugs in his autobiography Spare, told me, With uncharacteristic seriousness, he was unable to indulge in narcotics these days due to risk of a random army drug tests. While others might take cocaine at the clubs, bars, and parties he went to, he told me that he now took something called creatine. Wait, like the pre-work? Anyways, it's a perfectly legal food supplement which is normally mixed with water and drunk by bodybuilders looking for that extra something. When inhaled in powder form, Harry explained, the stuff provides a burst of energy that keeps one dancing till dawn. I have no idea if he's correct, so please don't try this at home.
Sorry, that sounds real stupid to me. I can't imagine it actually does that.
And I don't really want to Google it. I don't want that in my search history, but like,
Right. But like yeah, it helps your performance when you're working out. It might give you a little boost of energy, but it's not like caffeine or something.
it's not like cocaine.
It's not, it's definitely not like cocaine. It looks like cocaine, but it's not cocaine, Harry. um Also,
Yeah.
like it's also like helps your muscles like absorb a bunch of water. So is it helping his nasal passages absorb water or something? It just sounds real stupid. Next.
Shortly after we'd been introduced, someone at the shooting party decided that my nickname, thanks to my initials, everyone called me CG, needed to be improved. It was therefore announced that I would henceforth be known as CG String. Harry seemed to love my new moniker. I didn't know him well enough to come up with a suitably cutting nickname, so I rather lamely settled on Mr. Mischief. It seemed to fit. He was undeniably mischievous, and back then it was easy to see. It as part of his charm.
Uh-huh.
So that, I mean, it's interesting that like that's how that happened versus like the screenshots that we saw earlier, where it seemed like more like playful between the two of them, not like it was announced that that's my nickname now.
Yeah, I feel like I had to put this in because I think we might have implied in the last video that like she made up that nickname herself.
Right.
So I just wanted to put that out there.
Exonerate CG String.
Exactly. We're Team CG String.
Next.
And then we have one more just for giggles.
Over dinner, there's a lot of dinners. When discussing his recent stint in the US, I recall asking what he thought about American girls. Interestingly, given the course that his life would take, he vigorously defended American women, telling me that he believed that American girls can be glossy. They are much more cerebral than people give them credit for.
I just find that funny because that's not a word I would use to describe Harry.
No.
Cerebral? I'm
No.
surprised he knows the word cerebral.
Right?
I just thought that was interesting commentary from Prince Harry, Mr. Mischief.
Also, genuinely curious what his version of cerebral means. Like if they just like spoke complete sentences, if that was good enough for him.
Probably.
He's like, oh wow.
I mean, no wonder why he likes Megan. She can pretend that she knows stuff.
She's an actress. Somebody wrote the lines for her.
Let's not get into that again. Because then I just go back to the fact that she was like complaining that she had to like learn the lyrics to God Save the King and to like the hymns at church, which they give you the lyrics.
I was going to say,
the
like, they give
way.
you a little booklet.
And also, if your job was to learn lines, why can't you learn God Save the King?
Right. It's a lot shorter.
Yeah. So all of this to say, it's very interesting how I don't think there's any way of truly understanding what the hell Harry's thinking. I just think it's crazy that he's constantly fighting with the press. And then he wrote Spare, and they had their documentary series thing where they just divulged their most private and personal information to the press that he hates. Just like giving them ammo. And,
And then
and
being
then,
like, they know everything.
yeah, and then he goes and tries to sue them all for illegal things like hacking phones and whatnot, which not only is stressful to go through a long ass court case where you're trying to prove that you didn't do stuff illegal. It's kind of hard to prove that you didn't do things. But these people, as much as I like also find the press kind of annoying, they don't deserve to have their like reputations
Right,
completely thrown
destroyed.
away or like their whole career thrown away when you have zero proof that they did anything illegal. And then after all of this, whose team is the one that keeps supplying information to the press like every other day? Harry and Meghan's. That literally doesn't make any sense. Carrying on. So we know that the kids and Meghan didn't go to any public events. And we know that they'd waffled on whether or not they were going to stay at Buckingham Palace to the point that Saturday morning they told the palace, no, we're not going to stay there. And then Saturday night tried to turn that back around and say, no, 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 wait, we want to stay. And like the deadline for whether or not you were going to stay was like Friday. So I don't blame the palace for saying, no, you can't stay here now, because that's crazy. Come on, dude.
Right.
This is ridiculous. So, we did find out that
Oh,
there
no.
was a meeting between the Sussexes and King Charles and Queen Camilla. Um, apparently, yes. Apparently, Buckingham Palace confirmed on Friday evening, I think this was back on the 10th, that the king and queen hosted the family at Highgrove House earlier in the afternoon. Now, nobody has seen any pictures of them. Uh, Nobody's seen Meghan or the kids in the country at all, which, could just mean that they can get in and out of the country without being in danger. But then you also, because this is like a secret meeting, sort of, except for the fact that Buckingham Palace confirmed that it happened, which I don't even know why they did that. Like, it's a private family occasion at the king's private residence. It
Right.
has nothing to do with the rest of the country. You really don't need to tell us. So people thought it was just weird, that you would tell us, but also that nobody's seen Megan or the kids and they wonder if this thing even happened at all.
Right.
I don't know why the palace would lie about meeting with Harry because it doesn't help them.
Right. I was going to say, I'm like, what do they gain, though, from saying that?
Because
Kind of
part
nothing.
part of the complaints were that people were saying that meeting with the Sussexes was like legitimizing them as royal family members again, but it's like what do you want them to do? They're meeting him at his
There's,
private residence.
I was going to say, and I'm like, and they're still family.
Yeah, it's his dad. So, that's all I have on that because nothing has come out and nothing should come out. I shouldn't even know that Camilla was there. Like, why do I even know that detail? This was just you meeting your dad. Anyways, and then we're going to wrap this up because, of course, there was a People magazine exclusive. Just
Wherever could they have gotten their information from?
letting us know that Megan is sad. We're going to start with the first part of the article that I found to be it was strange. It was a strange thing to say.
Meghan Markle lets Prince Harry take the lead as he navigates conflicts with his family. Yeah, it's
That's a
his
weird
fucking
thing to
family.
say. That's a weird thing to say.
Especially as a standalone sentence.
Yes. And the first sentence. Like, nobody was asking.
And also, what's the alternative here? That she controls how he navigates family conflicts?
I think that's what they're
Perhaps
trying
she
to
does.
argue against, but
But also, this feels a lot like when you have to say something, you only
uh-huh.
have to say it because it's not true.
Right, like when you say you're authentic. I think we said this in the last episode. It's almost like it keeps happening. Okay, keep going.
The Duchess of Sussex, 44, planned to be by her husband's side for several outings during Harry's return to the UK last week. However, there was an about face when security concerns prevented her and her children, Prince Archie 7 and Princess Lilibet 5, from a full visit to Harry's home country. Although she returned to England for the first time since 2022 for a private reunion with King Charles, Meghan didn't make any public appearances during the trip.
Wah.
A source who
Next.
knows the couple tells People in this week's exclusive cover story that she would have felt quote unquote humiliated watching the public back and forth unfold. Another source tells People Meghan is very supportive of Harry, adding there's a lot of sadness over how the week unfolded and that she wasn't able to be by his side. However, another insider adds when it comes to Harry's dealing with his family, she always lets him take the lead.
See, we're saying the weird thing again.
Right. Another insider. Another
And
source. A source who knows them.
but we're saying that she always lets him lead. Why are we repeating that? It was a
Right.
weird thing the first time you said it. It's a weirder thing to keep saying it again.
Also, again, the fact that it's like literally every sentence is a source, another source,
Mm-hmm.
another insider.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, I just find it absolutely fresh of her to want to put out there that she's possibly sad and humiliated at the public back and forth. That was
Girl.
just you guys
Right?
giving stuff to the press every day. And the palace came out once to say, no, they're not staying at Buckingham Palace. Where's the back and forth?
It's a really
Or the
sad
back
game
and
of ping
forth
pong.
was the back and forth was just you guys going, oh, we're going to stay at the palace. No, we're not going to stay at the palace. The kids are coming. No, they're not. Like,
The only back and forth was between you.
yeah. Okay.
After the Duke and Duchess of Sussex announced they were bringing their children for the trip to the UK, questions surrounding security created a public standoff between the couple and the palace. After initially declining King Charles's offer to stay at a royal residence, Harry later sought to accept it, but palace officials maintained the deadline had passed, turning what should have been a private family matter into yet another public scuffle. Behind the scenes, the drama surrounding the visit was quote unquote quite stressful, says a source close to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
I know we want people to keep being sweet on the Sussexes so that they'll keep telling them stupid shit. But it's just really hard to read this stuff. Like,
It reads really badly. Really poorly?
it reads
Reads
like
poorly.
these poor people. Like, they just want to see their family and have security paid by the public, which is millions of dollars.
Also, here's our ongoing court case about how our privacy is invaded, and yet a source, another source, an insider. Maybe just don't tell people shit.
Yeah, the sources in that WhatsApp group where they were trying to give certain members of the press information
Right?
and then made them all look stupid because the Sussexes kept changing their minds. Yeah. So I think that's where we're gonna leave this whole trip because I think it's over. We're not gonna talk about Harry on the podcast that he was just on, where the lads were talking about pooping in a shower.
Oh, I heard that this was terrible. Like, I saw one little snippet of it
I
and was like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, I've seen clips and wow, am I not impressed. Uh I refuse to sit through that whole thing.
That's
Like,
fair.
I don't like gross things to begin with, but like they're just saying all these immature gross things as if they're funny, but they're not even funny.
Right.
You'd have to be 12. Well, Harry, kind of 12 on the inside. So, next time we do a current event, it will not be on the Sussexes.
I love that you say that with so much conviction. Like, that might be true and they won't actually do something else stupid that we need to talk about.
I know. 2 weeks is a long time for them to not do something stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
How many times have I said, like, then they did something, but I didn't look into it because I don't want to care anymore. And then it just more and more details come out and it just gets worse and worse and worse until I'm like, what is wrong with you?
At some point, this is just going to become like a psychology podcast.
It kind of almost is. Yeah, so that's that. We're going to go. We'll be back next week with another episode. So, maybe you should subscribe. Maybe you should like a couple videos. We did get some nice comments on the last video that was about the Sussexes, so that's nice. We get more of those. That'd be great.
Yeah, keep it up, guys. Positive
Yeah.
reinforcement.
Yeah. So, we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong.
As the Queen herself did with such unswerving devotion, I too now solemnly pledge myself, throughout the remaining time God grants me, to uphold the constitutional principles at the heart of our nation.
I commit myself to serve you all, King, country, and Commonwealth. God save the King.